And stretch your legs just straight against the wall and sweep your attention through the back body. Feel the parts of the body that are connecting to the floor. Don't worry about being uncomfortable because this is only an assessment. We're going to wake up ourselves. So first ones that I'd like to pay attention is, what is the touching the floor? Where do we feel the contact? Where is it at the back of the skull? Where is it at the rib cage area? Where do I feel? What's the surface? And where is the contact in the pelvic area and the buttock area? How long does it go down into the legs? And then where's the contact with your calf muscles and the lower legs and the heels? Also feel the mass of your arms and notice, where does it start in your shoulders? Does it start right at the shoulders, or does it start a little bit more in your arms? All of this is going to give you a lot of information later on. Take a couple of cleansing breaths here. Nice. And then mindfully, when you're ready, turn over to your right side of the body and grab your roller. So you're leaning with your head under or on top of the roller, your head onto your right side. And straighten up your legs, just so that you can feel the baseboard. And take a few moments here to just settle. Let the gravity do its own work. We're holding a lot of tension in our jaw, so this would be an opportunity to work a little bit on the jaw. Luciana was talking about this specific exercises that we can find and do. You can work with just moving your jaw up and down as if you're yawning. Usually you're yawning with the upper jaw. So instead of lowering your lower jaw, think about the upper jaw lifting up. Nice. So see if you can yawn with the upper jaw coming up. So you see your lower jaw going down. What would happen if your upper jaw coming up? Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, beautiful. See? Okay, is it trying to yawn? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Beautiful. And then bring your attention to the left nostril. And feel the breath moving through the left nostril. And imagine that the breath is coming right from the very base of the pelvic floor on that left side. If you can all bring your left hands on top of the left thighs, so your left side of the body feels totally separate from your right. So left arm on top of the left leg and straight legs, completely straight legs. So with your jaw relaxed on top of the roller, you breathe through the left side of the body. You bring your attention to the very base of the left side of the pelvis and feel its breath is coming up slowly all the way into the head, filling up like you're filling up a glass or a vase. And on the exhale, you imagine the breath is emptying from top to bottom, just like you would empty a glass or a vase. Feel it starting in that space at the pelvic floor, all the way up. This particular channel of the body, it's called Ida. It's related to the right side of the brain, where you're leaning, and the left side of the body terminates through the left nostril. Last 3 times. Beautiful. And then slowly you can roll yourself onto your back. Take away the roller just to see or reassess your body. So we are waking up the cellular intelligence. We're waking up very old patterns in the body that were there during the formation of our body. And we're looking for the center. So I want you to feel the difference between the left and the right side right now. And notice the gravity that goes through the right side. Notice how tilted some of you may feel. And feel the difference in your masses on your right and on your left. The back of the skull, the rib cage, the thorax, and the pelvis. And from there you can feel the difference down your legs. So maybe on the right side you may feel the difference in the contact compared to the left. Also notice the quality of your nervous system on your right side compared to the left. And I'm noticing that something is shifting in the room. And whenever you are ready, you can slowly roll over to the opposite side. Bring your right arm on top. And try to find your nostril aligned with your belly button, so your head is in the middle. It's not lifting, it's not dropping too far down, it's right in the middle. Okay, we're working with Pingala channel right now, which is moving around the central channel. And just feel the gravitational force, and maybe you can feel this yawning quality with your mouth opening and closing, and you feel the massage coming against the roller. Beautiful. Last couple of times. And then pause the attention to the right nostril, which is the nostril of the Pingala, is associated with the energy of sun. And is controlled by the left side of the brain. And you can feel this motion coming right from the very base, as if you're filling up the vessel from the bottom of the pelvic floor on the left side, all the way up into your head, somewhere between the eyebrows. And then emptying from top to bottom. So filling up from bottom, from the pelvic floor, all the way up to that space of the root of the nose, the tip of the very root of your eyebrows. And on the exhale, emptying from top to bottom. Beautiful. Let's work a little bit more with the head mass. So bring your roller underneath of the skull. And if you can CAT scan your whole entire skull, so feel the skin. Underneath of the skin is the superficial layer of the fascia, very thin. Under that is the bones of the skull. And inside of the skull, it's the layer of the thick fascia called the dura. And inside of that is floating brain. And if you can feel, where is the left and the right side of the brain? Can I feel them? The brain kind of seem like a little dumpling in a soup of this cerebral spinal fluid. And it's divided in two. And in between the two there is a gap. And I want you to feel, where is that gap? Right between the nostrils. Starting right at that root of the nose, the base of the sphenoid. And wherever you feel that there is the gap, just to gently start to move your head up and down, maybe even yawning with your jaw. I feel the same kind of motion that you did on the roller. Yes, beautiful, Sharon. That's it. Lovely. And once you establish that, you can feel that this space at the back of the skull, called the occipital bridge, where the lower brain is, there is a little separation there between the ear line, horizontal separation of the brain, where the lower brain and the newer brain connect. And you're going to roll now from side to side across this a line called a tentorium. It looks like a tent in between the ears. And if you can feel that through the mind of the fascia, if you can just feel it like a band that's going between your ears. But now think more about the mind of the organ. So I'm going inside of my brain. And I feel, oh, let me, right side of the brain, pull me to the right. And then come into center. And then say to the left brain, let the left side of the brain pull me to the left. So now you're moving from the organ. And I want you to feel the difference between you connecting with the muscle and the bones, which both have a very different mind of the cells, and when we're moving from the organs. Like literally think about the weight of the brain moving you to one side. If it's hard for you to think about the weight of the brain, imagine that there is almost like a water that you're pouring on one side of the brain, on one side, and it goes on that one side. And then you're thinking about the water pouring on the other side of the brain, and it's pouring you over. Just the weight of the brain is pouring your head over to the other side. And then come right into the center. I'd like you to put a hand on your belly if you felt the difference moving from the fascia layer of that tentorium, of that band, and the organ of your brain. And if you didn't feel the difference, you don't put your hands. But if you felt the difference, you can put your hand. Beautiful. So most of you. Lovely. And take a few moments here, relax, and take this roller away and just notice the difference in your head mass. Put your hands on your belly if you feel that your head is lower than the rest of your body. Okay, all of you. Wonderful. So now imagine from the teacher's point of view, if you have somebody who had head forward all the time, this technique will actually bring their head back, and then it will work with other masses. So now you can bend your knees in here. And bring your hands on your lower belly. Actually, I'm going to come and bring your sandbag right on top of that lower belly area. Because we have a static posture again, we have to feel warm. If we feel cold, in any case, it's not going to work, so we need to feel the warm. You feel warm enough? Okay, just give me a sign, okay, if you need any support. Okay, so now I want you to find this lower part of your belly where I'm putting the sandbag. And feel that you're lifting your bag up. And as you exhale, your bag goes down. It's not a belly area, it's below the belly area. So yesterday we spoke about the forming of the embryo and how this lower area was related to the formation of the placenta and the umbilical cord. And I spoke about this particular breath that we're doing now called yin breathing, that is very helpful in any form of anxiety or paranoia or excessive fear, or if we feel like we are rambling with our minds a lot. So I want you to feel that you're bringing that wave of the breath down. And not so much that the muscles are pushing your bag, but it's the breath and the wind of the breath that is pushing your bag. Beautiful. It's like you're blowing in a balloon, and that it pushes your bag up. Nice. Now you're going to feel your back coming a little bit more towards the navel. Just to gently, just move it slightly up. Not too much, not too far. It's already close. And you will feel two motion. One stream that goes down into the pelvic floor, right into that space of the perineum that we looked at, the very center of the pelvic floor, between the pubic bone and the tailbone. right where that tendon is. So one stream goes there, opening up the pelvic diaphragm, and another one goes all the way up, feeling the ripple through the body, all the way into the head, covering the thoracic diaphragm, the vocal diaphragm, the crown diaphragm, and the palatine diaphragm in your mouth. Just feel that, 2 streams, but they're originating from your navel. One stream going down, another stream coming up, slow and steady. Beautiful. And then you can just take this sandbag away. And we'll feel this part of the body as we approaching the other technique of the breath called the pelvic tilt and the tuck. So as you inhale, you will notice that the belly rises, so your knees are bent, unless you need to reassess and then assess it again, that's fine, but you can bring your knees back up. So as you inhale, your belly will naturally rise up and your tailbone will go down. As you exhale, your belly will naturally drop down and your tailbone will curl up. That's just what happens, but you're exaggerating the movement of your belly, adding a little bit more in your tailbone. So naturally the belly rises, balloon of the belly rises with this motion. As you breathe in, the balloon of your belly empties as you breathe out. You're just adding a little more of that motion through your tailbone. So as the belly rises, the tailbone drops, and the ripple of that movement goes up the spine into your head. And as you exhale, your tailbone slightly lifts up and ripples through the movement of the spine into your head. So you're going to notice that with tilt and tuck, your head is going to also move. It's almost as if you're doing this clock that we did last time, going down to 6 o'clock and then going up into 12 o'clock. As you inhale, it's down into 6 o'clock. And you exhale, it's up. So just do that, but very subtle. Nice, beautiful. And feel the ripple that happens right through the spine. Nice. Now that motion, do it maybe very subtle. So twice lighter than what you did.